guys, here we go. We're headed to Woodburn. We are going to adjust the strike plate on a house, on a basement door. And I got to call him from there. He may want a combination lock installed. Then from there, we're going to Orange County to do a 13 Lexus Prox key. Then we are going to White Lake. We have to do an 02 Saturn. They can't get the key to turn in it. You know, it's probably just one of those knife blade, typical Saturn, Chevy Equinox keys that, you know, from the stainless rollers in it, just turns it into a knife blade. So it's probably just going to be cutting a new key back to code. And then we got to go rekey a few doors in a local cafe. Let's get rolling, and I will be back with you. All right, so this first door, it's not actually a plate adjustment, it's a door adjustment. See how far in this thing is sitting? And this knob, you know, this is just G-force garbage in here. I'm going to put a shim in here because there's such a huge gap in this door. I'm going to bring this over, and you see, even with this locked, there's still enough on there to bypass. You can see the light coming through. So I'm going to drive a shim in here, move this over, and I'm also going to shim this latch out. Okay, so now this door is done. I brought this latch out where it belongs, and I also put a shim in here. So now when this closes, it's nice and solid all the way through, and we are going to install a combination lock on this. Okay, so we did put the combination lock in this door. This closes, sits on the lockout pin correctly. Everything works nice and smooth. This is a 19 finish on this door. So when this closes, it's just 2, 4, and 3. Factory preset. Everything works perfect. I'm going to set his combo. We're moving on. All right, next door, same development. Bad Cabo latch. If you look at that, this is supposed to be straight across when this is locked, but if you hold this latch, watch this, in and out, back and forth. So we're going to change this out. All right, so this door is done now. Everything lines up good. See what happened here is, you can see from the snow load, got on the door and pushed everything down and bound it up in the hole. And when they cranked on it with these new tail pieces, because they're like double the thickness, they're actually really rugged. It just stripped the latch right out. But now when it's done, it's perfect. All right, so we shimmed that door out, put a combination lock in there, and then the neighbor saw me on the camera, so he asked me to stop by and check his lock. It was just, you know, you get that snow load and they come up and they crank on it until it snaps the thing off inside. It used to be that it would bend the tailpiece. Now they made the tailpiece so rigid that it'll actually break. It'll actually strip the internals out of the latch. It'll break the little post inside loose, and then where it retracts, it just, you know, spins around in circles and won't do anything. And the latch, you can literally, like I showed you, just pop it in and out by hand. Anyway, we are headed to Orange County. We're going to go do this 13 Lexus now. I'll be back with you. All right, and this is a 80,000 Code Series Lexus, single-sided. I'll show you how to look this up on the Gymkhana. I know quite a few guys have problems with this, figuring out which key this is. And we're just adding the extra no-name brand key in this car. Okay, so now with this car, we're going to choose by vehicle. I'm going to choose Lexus. This is ES350. Let me double check that. Yeah, ES350. Next, and when you get to this screen, see it says cut one side, 80,000, slim key, emergency. So that's what you want to choose on this. Click next. We're going to do a decode. It's going to tell us to put it into U2. So we're going to take this, slide this into U2, roughly thereabouts. Tighten that down. We can hit decode, and that's going to go in, and I'm actually going to show you guys this. I know a bunch of you guys sent me messages about this, that you're having problems with the Gymkhana, with the 80,000 single-sided code series. But this is exactly how you do it with the Gymkhana. It's never an issue for me. Alright, that comes out of there. Decode complete. There's our code right up there, 88299. And now we can hit next, and it's going to tell us to put the other key in to U2. That goes into U2. Thereabouts. Hit cut. We'll let it do its thing, and I'll be right back with you. I'll actually show you guys this key while it does the cut, just because so many guys have problems with this specific key. Toyota and Lexus. Key is as easy as that. And I'm going to show you something else about when you put this key in. Some of these aftermarket keys you have issues with. Alright, so this is the aftermarket key that I just cut. Sometimes with these, no, this one works good. Sometimes with these keys you'll have an issue with this key going into the door. It won't want to go in. So what you got to do is just take a flat file and rub across the top and across the bottom on this flat side on top here and here, and that key will go in perfect. Alright, so we are in this 13 Lexus ES350. Always know where your security light is. This one is right here to the right of the radio. It's the first time I'm doing one of these with the IM508. Choose a mobilizer, accept, and we're going to scroll through. We're going to find Lexus. Do manual selection. USA. It's an ES350. It's a 13 to 18 smart key. Start yes. Go to hot function. Sorry, I got sun in this car. It's hard to get a good angle on this. We're going to do add smart key guided. Going to hit start. Alright, we're going to take the learned smart key and get our beep. Smart key to be learned right against the back of the button. We get our 2 beeps. Now that's going to start registering the key. Learning success. Okay, should be as easy as that. take this other key and put it outside the car. I'll be right back with you. Actually, I want to check this too while I'm here. Give me 1 second. And I'm back. Okay, this key is in there. Turn the radio down, we'll be all set. And this car is finished. Security's out. This is the extra key. I'm just going to double check it with the original, but I'm sure that works. And we are good here. And next we are going to do that Ultima right here in front of this. All right, so we took care of the 13 Lexus, the ES350, and I took care of that Ultima. If you want to watch how the Ultima's done, you can see it in the other videos that I've done. I've done, I don't know, probably 4 of them already. I don't want to bore you guys with content. But anyway, we are headed to White Lake, and we are going to take care of a Saturn key. I'll be back with you. All right, so typical Saturn, that's what we're looking at. You got to put the key in, stick it in there and rattle it around and jiggle it around just to get it to work. They were going to pull the ignition. I said we won't. I said we probably don't have to do that. I will just decode the key and we'll cut a new one. And I do have some B96 Saturn blanks. And let's get this decoded. I'm going to decode this by eye and just do it that way. All right, so with this key, I go from the deepest depth. Some guys go from the highest. You know, we know it's a 4 depth maximum, and it's a 10 cut key. So with this key, looking at this, I'm going to go 4, 2, 2. I'm going to go with a 4 there, possibly a 3, but it's more than likely a 4. 2, 2. That's got a slightly up, so I'm going to go with a 1, 3, 2, 1. I mean, it is pretty. Yeah, that's a little higher. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a 1 there too. All right, let me run that code and see if it comes up with anything. All right, so the first code I'm going to try with this is H0030. That's what it looks like to me. You know, I mean, after, you know, years and years, you kind of just do this by eye when these keys are worn like that. And we'll see what we got. It looks, I think my readings are pretty good. Yep, let's try cutting that and see what happens. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is choose vehicle. Gonna go Saturn. That thing is an SL series. H series code. Next, we're going to cut a code. What the heck was that? It was H0030. Alright, next. And it's going to tell us use 0. Let me switch hands here. Use 0. Jeez, I screwed that one up. You know what it is? These keys got the taper right there in the head. So we'll just stay down in under. Use 0, nice and straight. We'll hit cut. It'll do its thing. I'll be right back with you. All right, so here we are on our Saturn. This key, you have to see the whole ignition starts to loosen up on these things from everybody jiggling this around. And there it is. It turns. Let me turn the stupid radio off. Hold on. Okay. So now when you put this in, jiggle it around, and this is the one that I just cut. Trust me, Usually I don't get that lucky on the first shot, but that is that H0030 that we just cut. I'm going to oil this ignition. These are the Huff ignitions. These things used to knife, well, they still do, as you can tell. They still knife edge the hell out of keys. So I am going to oil this up and it'll be perfect. I'm going to cut them one more. Alright, so I cut 2 keys for this. This is done. Works absolutely beautiful now. And no more jiggling and fiddling with keys, and they're finished. Alright, so we took care of that old school Saturn. It's an 02 SL or something like that. Those any of those Huff ignitions, you end up with a worn key like that. And after you sit down, I mean, it takes you a while to get used to, you know, how to decode. I mean, I got lucky with that one because it was just, you know, the first read I got at the first shot, it worked absolutely perfect. Usually it's 2 or 3 that I got to do. You know, sometimes I get it on 1, but usually it's, you know, 2-3 times before you get it decoded correctly. But anyway, we're going to White Lake right here. We have to rekey a store or a restaurant, and I'll be right back with you. All right, so this is the door. They can't get in this door, even if it's... My key just works terrible on this thing. It doesn't unlock either way. I'm going to spray some Houdini right straight through to see if I can loosen it up. So this door, I sprayed Houdini through it into the back side of the lock, and even with pressure on it, I still can't get it to release. This thing takes a beating because this thing is right on the water here. Let's see what I can do to get in this thing. Alright, so I was able to get in. I've done this door in the past, must have been years ago because it's got a brown sticker on it. I just leashed this open and go in through the kitchen and we'll get to that panic bar. And as you can see, this is probably our problem with this. So I'm going to take it off. I got to rekey it anyway, and we'll fix the bar. So my method for the Houdini was to blow it through the back like it went through there, and it ran down in here. This works absolutely perfect, but it's just, it wasn't lined up in the bar because this thing, the tailpiece needs to rock in and out and be out fully before it'll turn. Once you drop it in like that, it clutches it. Okay, so this door, it's a Corbin Russell bar. It's actually a good bar. Is working perfect now. But what I do have to adjust is the strike, because when this door closes, I can't leave that door like that. That's terrible to see. So let me adjust this and I'll be right back. All right, so now this door is perfect. Locks nice, unlocks nice. And I did have to move that plate way back, but perfect now. All right, so I did have to tighten the screws in the back, and the bar was actually locked right up. I mean, it would push in, but it wouldn't release. So I oiled everything up, and now it's working good. So I'm going to put this back together, and I keyed the cylinder for there. All right, so now this door, when it locks, absolutely perfect. This bar, when you push this in before, that the tongue would actually just stay in, so I had to go through and oil the whole bar up. I put this on here, it's got to be 15 years ago or so, but it still works fantastic. And these get beat up being right here on the lake. I just got to go through, lock everything, we're done here. And my sticker's on there, now it's complete. We can lock this up, and we can get out of here. All right, so we took care of the restaurant there on the lake. Those bars were in some pretty rough shape. They haven't been touched in 10 or 15 years, I would say, at least, since the last time I did the back door there. I put the panic bar on, and I think I rekeyed the outside cylinder. I don't remember exactly what I did there. But anyway, that's all finished up. It is 5 minutes to 6. I'm headed home. I appreciate you guys watching, and if you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up.